To life. I've been in this life for 50 years, trying to work out its riddle for 42 and keeping diaries of clues to that riddle for the last 35. Notes about successes and failures, joys and sorrows, things that made me marvel and things that made me laugh out loud. 35 years of realizing, remembering, recognizing, gathering, and jotting down what has moved me or turned me on along the way. How to be fair, how to have less stress, how to have fun, how to hurt people less, how to get hurt less, how to be a good man, how to get what I want, how to have meaning in life, how to be more me. Now, I never wrote these things down to remember. I always wrote things down so I could forget. The idea of revisiting my life and musings was a daunting one. I wasn't sure if I'd enjoy the company. Recently, I worked up the courage to sit down with those diaries and have a look at the 35 years of writing about who I've been over the last 50. And you know what? I enjoyed myself more than I thought I would. I laughed, I cried, I realized I had remembered more than I expected and forgot less. What did I find? I found stories I witnessed and experienced, lessons I learned and forgot, poems, prayers, prescriptions, answers to questions I had, reminders of questions I still have, affirmations for certain doubts, beliefs about what matters, theories on relativity, and a whole bunch of bumper stickers. I found consistent ways that I approached life that gave me more satisfaction at the time, and still, I found a reliable theme. All the red and yellows, almost every red and yellow light I had in my life, every time I had a hardship or a crisis, it revealed itself to have green light assets or became a green light later on in life. That's what the metaphor is. It's green lights is not about making everything a green light. Green light is also about understanding how red and yellow lights, interventions, hardships, pauses, introspections we have in our life where we need to recalibrate, how that's how you engineer a red or yellow light into becoming a green light later on. Or sometimes they just reveal themselves to be green later on. I think we notice them in the moment. I think we notice them sometimes tomorrow. Sometimes we notice them next week, next year. Sometimes we're going to notice them on our deathbed. I even believe that some red and yellow lights in our life will not be revealed green until our great-great-grandkids figure out what the lesson is, 2 generations from now. But it's a constant process. And I do believe that eventually all the yellows and reds will turn green. Green lights does not mean I just want a whole life full of nothing but green lights. Green lights involve being stopped at reds and having to slow down during yellows, and then learning a lesson in those times. If life's all nothing but green lights straight ahead, you don't get to red or yellow, it's all in it. What's it for then? It's entertainment, no more than that. And what? We're going where? Where's the evolution? Where's the growth? Where's the ascension? It's a long, flat desert, 4-dimensional. Go where you want to go. There's no form or structure to that. So in the name of evolution, we can create green lights. We can be kind to our future selves. We can tee ourselves up today. We can tee ourselves up tomorrow via our actions and choices we make today. All the way down to the simplest damn thing of putting your coffee in your coffee filter the night before, so tomorrow morning all you gotta do is press the button. That's a simple, practical green light. The next morning, how happy are you? Put the damn filter, you'd have to go searching around for it. You know what I mean? It's like, I teed myself up for a little bit of ease. We can make choices in our relationships. We can make choices if we decide to go lie, cheat, and steal, which some would say, oh, that's more selfish because they get what they wanted right then. I would argue that is not selfish. Because why? Because later on, in the compounding assets of our future, everywhere we go, we got to look over our shoulder to see if that person we lied, cheated, and stole from is in the room. So now we're taking up our time. And we're stressing because, oh, geez, oh man, he is here. I got to sneak out the back door. That's a yellow light. So by doing certain things, we can create discomfort and lack of freedom in our future. So what are the choices? It's also a balance between responsibility and freedom. The responsibility of freedom and the freedom that can come with responsibility. All in the name of that delayed gratification of teeing up more green lights for our future. And then this. We got to read between which ones of those green lights. Like if it was all green lights on the highway, as I was saying earlier, a lot of those green lights are battery powered. They're going to go out. What are these solar powered green lights that are going to burn and shine green in our future and after we are gone? And that's when I lead into, it's a great practice to go, it's like, think about it. If you can't go that far in your mind, go 5 years ahead of right now. Go 10 years ahead of right now. Go interview yourself. Let your 10 years from now interview yourself now. about what kind of father you're going to be and what kind of father you've been over the next 10 years. It's a cool practice. And it will actually, I've noticed, instead of being like, oh my God, I got to die, it actually makes you feel more alive and take more responsibility for yourself now in the present time. So I have found that there is a science to satisfaction. I don't have it all figured out. I say this frequently through the book. I'm not making straight A's and all this stuff. You know what I mean? I have crossed some truths that I believe to eternally be true. That does not mean I'm making straight A's at them. I'm working at them all the time, fail at some of them all the time too. But I found some consistency of where, oh, I understand why I failed. Look at that. I didn't remember that. Oh, I see why I found gratification and satisfaction in this situation. I actually followed that.
So I'm going to talk to you about some things I've learned in my journey. Most from experience, some of them I heard in passing. Many of them I'm still practicing, but all of them I do believe are true. Life is not easy. It is not. Don't try to make it that way. Life's not fair. It never was. It isn't now, and it won't ever be. Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap, of feeling like you're a victim. Joy is the feeling that we have from doing what we are fashioned to do, no matter the outcome. And I say, if happiness is what you're after, then you're going to be let down frequently, and you're going to be unhappy much of your time. Joy, though, joy is a different thing. It's something else. Joy is not a choice. It's not a response to some result. See, joy is always in process. It's under construction. It is in constant approach, alive and well in the doing of what we're fashioned to do and enjoying it. Define success for yourself. Whatever your answer is, don't choose anything that will jeopardize your soul. Prioritize who you are, who you want to be, and don't spend time with anything that antagonizes your character. Be brave, take the hill, but first answer that question, what's my hill? So first, we have to define success for ourselves. And then we have to put in the work to maintain it. Take that daily tally. Tend our garden. Keep the things that are important to us in good shape. Look, the first step that leads to our identity in life is usually not, I know who I am. I know who I am. That's not the first step. The first step's usually, I know who I am not. Process of elimination. Defining ourselves by what we are not is the first step that leads us to really knowing who we are. Well, those people, those places, those things, stop giving them your time and energy. Just don't go there. I mean, put them down. And when you do this, when you do put them down, when you quit going there, and you quit giving them your time, you inadvertently find yourself spending more time and in more places that are healthy for you, that bring you more joy. Why? Because you just eliminated the who's, the where's, the what's, and the when's that were keeping you from your identity. If you do this, you will have accidentally, almost innocently, put in front of you what is important to you by process of elimination. Knowing who we are is hard. It's hard. So give yourself a break. Eliminate who you are not first, and you're going to find yourself where you need to be. And since we are the architects of our own lives, let's study the habits, the practices, the routines that we have that lead to and feed our success, our joy, our honest pain, our laughter, our earned tears. Let's dissect that and give thanks for those things. And when we do that, guess what happens? We get better at them, and we have more to dissect. But if we stay in process, all right, within ourselves, in the joy of the doing, we will never choke at the finish line. Why? Because we aren't thinking of the finish line. Because we're not looking at the clock. We're not watching ourselves on the Jumbotron performing the very act that we're in the middle of. No, we're in process. The approach is the destination, and we are never finished. We're going to make mistakes. You got to own them. Then you got to make amends. And then you got to move on. Guilt and regret kills many a man before their time. So turn the page Get off the ride. You are the author of the book of your life.